I want to give you all a very quick update right now. I'm going to be interviewing a very nice man who is quiet and he's kind and he has a very unique perspective. You can learn a lot just by listening to him. He's a friend of mine. He's the Good Samaritan type who's not afraid to help a stranger. He's very kind, he has a very good heart, and he's agreed to an interview. Also, I want to thank you all of you that watch my video on little Dylan, little 2-year-old Dylan, who is having some really terrible problems, which had been diagnosed by several different doctors. I told you in that video that I talked to his mother, Sherry, and she told me the details. And I said, Sherry, when you take him back to the doctors aren't going to be able to find a single thing. I had so much faith, and I told her I'm going to get right on this, and I'm going to go before God, and I'm going to lift Dylan up in prayer. And let's expect miracles for Dylan. That was late last year. I have a wonderful report to give of Dylan. Sherry took Dylan back to the specialist. They ran all kinds of tests. But Sherry was very happy. She wasn't upset. And she knew in her heart that Dylan had been healed. I told Sherry about the vision I had while praying for little Dylan. I saw Jesus literally kneel down in front of him and put his hand on little Dylan's tiny shoulder. I couldn't hear what he said to Dylan, but he leaned forward and he spoke to him. And I knew right then that Jesus had answered my prayer. I knew he heard when I asked for Dylan, when I lifted Dylan up. I knew that he heard my prayer. I knew it was finished. It was done. When you have faith and you believe, and then God gives you a vision to verify what you're believing, you can count on it being done. To make a long story short, the doctors ran all kinds of tests, gave her several very bad prognoses in the beginning. So when she returned back to the doctors, after they had done all the readings on all the tests, looked at all the scans, all the blood work, Sherry said when she went into the room, the doctor looked very upset. But she wasn't afraid. She knew what he was going to say. And sure enough, he said, Sherry, we can't find a single thing wrong with Dylan. We're very upset. We know what we saw. We know what was involved. We know that the prognosis was very bad. We just don't understand it. We're not seeing what we saw before. Sherry said she smiled, and she was so happy. And she knew that Dylan had been healed. Now also, before she returned back to the doctor for the test results, she had been told by another person of faith besides me, after I had lifted Dylan up in prayer, that Dylan had been healed. And this other person with tremendous faith and the gift of healing said that there had been something wrong with his spinal structure. But that had been worked out. The healer simply had Dylan walk a few steps, and it was instantly healed. It was like a miracle on top of all of the other miracles, and these were all verified right in front of Sherry's eyes. So thank you all for your prayers. I appreciate it so much. You should see Dylan. They said he wasn't growing. Boy, is he ever getting tall. And he's such a happy, outgoing little boy. Everything they saw, everything that was showing itself, all the bad symptoms had totally, completely disappeared. And in their places, he had strength, he had spectacular growth, and he was way above average. The doctors were stunned. They told Sherry, they said, surely these conditions still exist. We need to do more tests and find them. And Sherry just smiled and said, Doctor, my son has been healed. I want to thank you all for all of the prayers. I appreciate it so much. Thank you to my good friends in Vietnam. You're in my heart. I think of you. I pray for you. Thank you for praying for me. Thank you all. And I have a lot more to tell you, but I'm going to get this video up as quick as I possibly can because it's such good news. God bless you all.